Yeah, really cool to fly overseas and all that other stuff for these guys, but ultimately they had to come back with points, something I was emphasizing all of last week. Well, they got 3 out of 4, but they sure made the last couple count. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Penguins 4, Predators 0. Yesterday in Stockholm, Sweden, an early blitz of 3 goals by Parker Wotherspoon. Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby got it done. Blake Lizotte would add an empty netter. And Sergei Murashov, in addition to getting his first NHL win, got his first NHL shutout, stopping all 21 Nashville shots. Throw onto that pile that the Penguins yet again got completely hosed on power plays, meaning they carried this event. This was not like the first game in Sweden at all. And yet the Predators were awarded all 4 power plays, 3 of those coming in a really busy second period for the penalty killers. And here again, I mean, they got the job done. They played well. They got the W. They're now 10-5-4 for the 3rd best record in the Eastern Conference. Amusingly, but maybe not, they lead the conference with 10 regulation wins. In fact, nobody else has more than 8, which only tells you that for the 10th year in a row or something, the Penguins remain terrible at both 3-on-3 overtime and shootouts. But it's a good place to be, and it's a way better place to be than if they had flown home with another stinker like that first game out there. This was Erik Karlsson afterward to the media covering there in Sweden, including, obviously, DK Pittsburgh Sports.
Yeah, I think, we gave ourselves, or Artie gave us a pretty good chance in winning the last game. He gave us a point. I don't think as a group we performed the way that we wanted to. I think everybody felt that. Obviously today, our first period was huge, being able to capitalize on a few chances and get an early lead. And I think for the rest of the game, we did a good job in managing the situations out there. Second period, we killed a lot of penalties, and they had a lot of momentum, but we rode it out. And then in the third, I think we did a good job in playing the way that we want when we have the lead, and it looked more like our team. So all in all, I think it was a well-executed game, and we know that if we play that way, we're going to have a good chance in winning every game.
I'm going to continue to have, and unapologetically so, muted or mixed feelings on the way all of this has gone to date. And I get it. You're 1 game shy of the quarter pole for the regular season, and you're in literal contention, meaning, there's nothing that spells contention out quite like being up there in the standings. And honestly, you can take most any metric that's out there, and the Penguins do well. Looking at the entire league, the only team with more regulation wins is the Avalanche with 12. I like this one a lot. The Penguins have a plus 12 goal differential that's tied for 3rd in the entire league. Goal differential, just like points differential in the NFL, just like run differential in Major League Baseball, are almost universally accepted as the best basic metric to tell you whether something is real or not. In other words, your team's run off a few wins and so forth, but your differential is down. In this case, goal differential. You are coming back to earth because you are not that team. If you want to get into the more complex stats, the one sore spot that remains are basic shot attempts in the various zones. That's a figure that's designed to illustrate possession, because if you're attempting to take a shot from somewhere, logic would dictate you're in the other team's zone. Penguins are 24th in that category. My own thinking on that one is they don't generate a whole lot of wasted shots or wasted shot attempts. They have some pretty high-level skill guys And also they have the super effective power play, and thus a very good team shooting percentage, plus the quality goaltending that they've gotten. Here's another one of those. It's on the upswing, significant upswing, actually. The Penguins rank 10th in the entire league in high danger chances for versus high danger chances against. And I could do that sort of thing all day. It's the quarter pole. The team is doing well. The team, I can't even begin to count how many of these individual players have told me this, is not where it wants to be. And now I'm not talking about the standings. Now I'm talking about their performance, their quality of play. In fact, of all the recurring themes in that locker room, that one's number one with a big old bullet. Other people might be gosh wow about all this. They're the polar opposite. They only find, well, I shouldn't say only, they mostly find the negative in what they're doing, and they mostly discuss what they believe they can be doing a lot better. So Sweden has come and gone. Those were the only 2 games that they were going to play in an 11-game span, and now there's a 4-day break, 4 days off. There's going to be practices, but I'm not talking about that. Before their next game, Friday night against the Wild, a team they've already beaten in St. Paul. Then come the Kraken, then the Sabres, then the Blue Jackets, and then the Maple Leafs, and none of those teams, except Seattle, which is 9-4-5, are off to good starts. So keep doing that same thing that you just did over there on the other side of the planet. Accumulate points. When we come back, J1Q. J1Q comes from Peng, who says, now what do you do when Tristan Jarry is healthy again? Can you really send a stud like Sergei Murashov down to the AHL? Yes, you can. And yes, that is what's most likely to happen. Contract management, roster management is always part of building a team. And it's not the kind of thing that a lot of people are going to think about whenever this sort of thing gets discussed. It's just, keep the 2 best guys or even the 2 hottest guys. Well, okay, that might sound good, but you have assets in place. You are constantly, ideally, in the position as a general manager to be maximizing those assets for various reasons. In Jarry's case, let's just call this what it is. You might be trying to maximize his value just for the purpose of a trade. Just throwing it out there. Somebody take that contract. In Artur Shilov's case, you're taking a flyer as an organization on a younger goaltender, meaning younger than the norm in the NHL. At age 24, you're finally giving him his first full break at the highest level, right after he was the most valuable player in the Calder Cup playoffs in winning the AHL's championship in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Now, can you make such an assessment after a quarter of a season on an individual, on their career, at the single most fickle position when it comes to evaluations in the sport? No, you can't. If I had my way and I had no other factors weighing on me, I would have Jarry and Murashov as my goaltenders. I would have them splitting action. I would have them having that division of labor be based almost entirely on performance. But I say almost because you can't just let Murashov sit as a backup in the NHL. He's got to keep playing. And if you're new to the program, I haven't been all that wild about Shilovs. I know that's an unpopular stance. I'm not going to say I'm sorry for it. We're all allowed to think whatever it is that we want to think about ice hockey. And I look at Shilovs, I see way too many rebounds. I see a complete and spectacular inability to stop people one-on-one, not just in the shootouts. And I don't believe he can handle the puck behind the net. So That's 3 pretty significant strikes for me. That said, in his 10 games, he's got a .917 save percentage, and there is no team anywhere that wouldn't welcome a .917 save percentage and wouldn't want to be patient with that. So probably the best thing that I can contribute to this conversation would be the obvious, which is that this is a nice problem to have. You'd rather have this than seeing all of them be sieves and trying to wonder how you can get rid of, all of them or even most of them. For my own purposes, I look forward to seeing Jari come back. I thought he, in general, has been playing some of the better hockey of his life, going back to the end of last season and continuing into this one. And of course, it'd be a blessing beyond words for Murashov to turn into what everybody's hoping he can turn into. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow.